Okay. Yo. So just give me 2 seconds, guys, okay? Oof. Have to do one little thing. We'll do all this. It won't live before it's quite ready. Louder. Sorry about that. But because I'm actually going live off my phone, I wanted to make it easier to read the comments that come up, if there are going to be comments that come up. And so I've got you on Tanny's computer screen as well, which is kind of cool because I can read from here if I get my glasses on. Right, so here we are. Now, for those of you who don't know, the model that is behind me is part of our packing that we are doing, because we are still apparently moving at some point. When we don't know. Bottom line, we don't know when we're moving. Which made growing, we were in this position last year, made growing and choosing what we were going to grow limited. But we did the best we could with what we had. And this year, or this growing season, because it's still 2021, so that'll be next year, I've decided to do a bit of an experiment. Now, what my channel is about, at the end of the day, is people who are in the same circumstances or similar circumstances to us, who are on extremely small budgets, who cannot afford all the expensive things, and can't afford hundreds of pounds worth of seeds and all that kind of stuff, or just shop bought stuff in general. Okay, so but they want to start a garden somehow, and they want to know what to do with the stuff afterwards. So that's pretty much what my channel is about. Now, moving to that, this year I'm going to be doing a shop bought fruit and veg saved seed growing experiment. Yeah, I know it's a mouthful. I haven't figured out a hashtag for it yet, but that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be saving seeds from a whole heap of fruit and veg from the supermarket that we've had to buy, or from the markets or wherever, and seeing what we can grow from it and what we can harvest from it and all that kind of thing. Now, so far, as you know, at the end, hey, Sapphire and Diamonds and Pearls, how you doing, sweetheart? It's good to see you. So yeah, I have already in readiness for this. I kind of started a little bit of experimenting last year with seeds, using things from the pantry. Oh, darling, I'm so glad you're good. You didn't miss me at all. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I've only just started, so you're stuck with me now for at least an hour. But what I'm doing, so this year, because of we are still in the limited position of what we are in, so we will still not be able to really... How am I doing? I'm doing alright, actually. Tanny started work this week, so I have been a lady of leisure. I have been a pixie of leisure, and I have been able, well, I haven't really been of leisure. I did have one day where I just sat down and did nothing, because I just wanted to just relax, and I did that. But all the other days I went to a job interview yesterday, I went to the supermarkets on my own, I've done all sorts of things that I don't normally do, because of my mobility, and as much as I adore Tanny, and I really, really do, and he is such a wonderful partner. He's a great carer as well, and he has been up until now my full-time carer. He takes it a little bit too far, and when I want to go do things, he kind of takes over for me so I don't get hurt, and so I end up not doing anything. But this week he's got no control, and I can just go off and do the things, and that's what I've done, and it's been great. I'm paying for it today though. My knees are quite sore, my meds haven't kicked in, but that's okay because I'm sitting on my ass right now, so it don't matter. But I do have to go out later on this afternoon, but it's all good. Because the man deserves the beer. He's been working 12 to 13 hours a day all week, and it looks like it's going to be another 12-hour days. Yay! Yes, I can do me, and you can do you too, you know. It's just a matter of getting out and doing it, really, and having the confidence to do it. I think a lot of it's the confidence, because I haven't really been out for 18 months. I haven't really left the house in 18 months. And when I have, because I've been medically shielding, when I have, I've got as far as the car, and I've been in the car, and Tanny's still gone into the shop, and I've just stayed in the car, because people, you know, people suck. Anywho, but I managed it all by myself yesterday, because I didn't have to worry about what he was thinking or what he was doing. I know, it's a long time. It's a long time. I'm still being really, really careful. Probably the only person that I saw yesterday with a mask, apart from the person that I was doing my job interview with. So, you know, yeah, fun and games. But at least I know I'm doing the right thing for me, and if other people don't like it, well, that's on them. I don't care. We don't. So I just went out and had fun, and it was good. Yes, it was. It was fun. And that means today I get to have more fun, because I get to use some of the things that I bought yesterday to have fun with. I know that sounds really wrong, but I bought some fruit, veg and stuff like that, so went shopping, did a few bits, which was cool. Okay, well, I have, since Tanny's got a job, it's going to severely hit the disability payments that I get. We will be charged 63p out of a pound, which is like 63 cents to the dollar. For every dollar he earns, we will have 63 cents, like the equivalent of over here, which is pounds and pence, taken off us. So, and because of, I don't want to go too deeply into it on this channel, but because of decisions that were made in Parliament, the NHS, which is the National Health Service, which was created in the late 1940s, early 50s, so that everybody, no matter whether they were poor, working class, you know, upper class, had shed loads of money, or absolutely didn't even have a pot to piss in, everybody would have the same medical care. And in the last few days, the government that is in power have actually voted to privatise it, or as much as possible. And they've also put a clause in there saying that if we can't get the treatment that we need, that we were getting through the NHS, we can't actually take them to court over it. So I have to get a job so that I can afford to get private health insurance. There are already treatments and stuff that I can't get without paying for. Some of the tests that I need to have done on a biannual basis I now have to pay for. It's a set of 5 tests that's around about £120, which is about a week's worth of money for us. It is complicated, it's very complicated, but it does mean that I need a job. So I went to the local shop, the local supermarket shop down in the corner. They had a job that was advertised. Because I went through a disability website, job site, they had no problem with my limited abilities, and I was about to be offered the job, pretty damn sure I was about to be offered that job, and then she said it was only for 9 hours a week, so that was like, yeah, I can't be doing that. I need full time. What I applied for, showed her the job ad. She was like, they've changed my job ad. I went, well, you know, I applied for what I applied for, I'm sorry. So, and she's like, no, I get it. So, yeah. But now I'm looking at possibly getting some admin work at home. Just do some customer service stuff at home, so I don't have to really travel very far or whatever. There's another job that I have applied for that I will have to travel for, because it's at a prison. It's office work at a prison. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I'll just keep applying until someone says yes, and I'll just keep nagging the universe until I get something. So, yeah, that's pretty much how it is at the moment. But saying that, now I've got, because of changing circumstances and all that sort of stuff, no, I'm not going to give up on going forward ever. I will never give up on going forward, and I won't be giving up the channel either when I get full-time work, because this is part of my plan anyway. So yeah, but because of all of that, because of the change of circumstances, and because we haven't moved from here, I have to look at different ways of growing this year, and making decisions based on that, because a lot of our decision making over the last couple of years has been, we're going to be moved this time next year, so we better get these in so we've got them, and all of that kind of stuff. Well, that's great, but it's meant that we now have a shed ton of seeds and stuff. What time is it here? It is hang on, I'll tell you. It's pretty early. It's 10:30 in the morning. It's 10:30 in the morning, which is cool, and I don't mind being live at this time of the morning, because it kind of, you know, wakes me up. Motivates me to get things done as well, which helps. But I'm actually, like I said, I'm going live off my phone, and I have Tanny's computer up there with chat going, so if I miss it on the phone I can see it up there because I've got my glasses on, you know, in the sensible position so that I can see everything. Oh honey, 2:30 in the morning? Wow! Oh my goodness. Are you tired? Is you sleepy? Or are you a bit of a night owl? So yeah. There we go. Anywho, back to what I'm supposed to be doing. I have had to make decisions, or we're having to look at decisions. You're a night owl for sure. Awesome. Yay! Having to look at still growing, still doing what we've done or doing, but it has to be in containers, and the containers have to be portable, so that if we do move at a moment's notice, we can pack it all up and leave. Basically, that's the bottom line of it all. But at a bit different, I want to try it and I want to buy it and what have you. And I've been buying a load of seeds that are based on the fact that we won't be here next year. But I did that the year before as well. I did that last year as well, and we're still here. So, yeah, this year's been a bit different. So what I decided was that this year would be the really, really good year for doing an experiment with shop bought veg and fruit seeds that I've collected from the fruit and veg that we bought at the shop. That all makes sense. Yeah. So, so far, I have been collecting. I've already been collecting, you see. And so far I have, well, some of these aren't from the shop. These are from these ones here. What am I growing now? At the moment we've only got the trees in. I've still got beetroot going. I did put in my garlic. Now my garlic is shop bought garlic. It's not seed garlic. I got 4 bulbs of garlic in there. They're not overly huge either, which is fine because I actually like to pickle garlic young, and because we've got limited space and in containers, it makes sense for us only to do a few. Enough for me to pickle in the Asian way, like the whole baby bulb. So I've got a jar of that for the year, rather than taking up all our growing space just with garlic, because that's literally what would happen. So as long as I get the garlic that I need for doing the specialty pickles, then I don't mind going and buying the rest that we need, so that I don't waste all our growing space, because we really don't have that much. Okay, so there's 3 of those in, I think. I think we got, I think there's 6, 5, 30 bulbs, 30 cloves in. Yeah, I did 6 buckets and there's 5 cloves in each. So there should be 5 garlic in each, so there should be 30, which is pretty cool. And I'm quite excited about that, so that's good. The runner bean experiment that I did, we found some reduced runner bean plants that were down to like 50p for 8 plants or something. Really late in the season last year. And I decided that instead of putting them in the ground or in a container where they had to go upwards, I'd put them in hanging baskets, and it actually worked. It worked really, really well. But the plants were half dead when we got them, and I accidentally left them in too long anyway. So we only got a few pods off them. They're still actually alive in there now. I've just got to add more soil to them, and they should be fine for next year. So what I did was I saved the seed from the pods that we got, so that I've actually got the scarlet runners that we had out of those plants, which, as you can see, isn't a lot, but it's actually going to give us another 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 plants, which is pretty cool. So they should come up. Part of the pantry experiment, growing stuff from the pantry, or beans and stuff from the pantry, we ended up with a bunch of soybean pods. So, which, you know, people spend a lot of money on as edamame, but we had the soybeans, so I put a few in and they actually worked. But because it was really, really late in the season, again, it was late in the season, so I only got that many, but I've saved them for the seed for next year. So, but it does mean that I can actually know that the soybeans that I buy, which are organic GMO free ones, they do cost a bit more, but it does mean that I can regrow them. What is that? Oh, go away. Need text messages. Yeah. So, yeah. So we've got soybeans that we can put in for next year. Now, these are the shop bought ones that I have so far. Now, I don't know what you guys, if you guys see them over there. Started planting in pots in February inside. Last year my plants started off great, but Nevada summer, well, heat murdered them. I was heartbroken. Oh, darling. Oh, honey. Is it possible to put up a shade cloth? Or a shading for them, maybe? Just an idea. Just a thought. Yeah, because I can imagine how sunny it is, and we had issues like that in Australia, and what we used to do was put up shade cloth, and well, pretty much what we get over here, which is scaffolding debris netting, but we use it, which is a builder's thing, and you see it on all the scaffolding buildings that they're working on and stuff. It's that green stuff, or orange or blue or whatever. We prefer to get the black one because you can actually see through it, and it's not really in your face. We have a little bit of green out the front, but we got that from when the house in front was doing some work, and we asked them if we could have it, because otherwise they'd toss it. I had that. It was just too hot. We had 115 degrees. Ow! Okay. Yeah, that's warm. That's really warm. Ow. Oh, Chihuahua. Babe. So we need to find you some hot place plants, Some stuff that's going to last in those kinds of conditions. There's got to be plants out there that can last in those conditions. We've got to find you some. Yeah, that's warm. That is really warm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what are the kinds of things that we used to grow in Australia and stuff like that, in conditions like that. And there are quite a few plants that you can do, a lot of edible plants that you can grow in that kind of condition. You just got to make sure that they've got plenty of water and a little bit of shade in the hottest part of the day, and they should be okay. It's just doing it, I guess. And finding the ones that you can use and the ones that are right for you. Yeah. It can be difficult though. I can imagine it being quite difficult. You have 118 packages of different seeds on the gourd. Oh, babe. Oh, honey. Totally get it. You wait. Just wait a second, because I've got a few packets. I've got a few. I'm not sure I've got 118, but I've got a few. These ones here, I saved. Now, already in the polytunnel, I have 3 flat peaches and 3 nectarines that I just planted as the nut, with the nut in whole, just to see what would happen, because they may need to be stratified to be able to grow. But these ones are the actual seeds inside the cracked nut for the flat peaches. The little donut-shaped flat ones. Pardon me. Because they are awesome and lovely. So, yeah. So I've got a few of those. We'll give those a go as well. Now what I have here, I've got shop-bought green capsicums, or bell peppers, or whatever you want to call them. Seeds from a green one. I've got seeds from a red one. Go, you just went crazy. Every time I went to the store, I picked up 3 to 8 packets or something. Oh, honey, seriously, when I'm left alone for 5 minutes, if I've got a $5 spare in the bank, I tend to go seed shopping. online because I don't go out. I go online. It's terrifying. So the next one I've got, I found these chilies, and they're Padron Chillies, and they were reduced to 79p for the whole packet. I've actually used half of these. They're actually really nice chilies. They're kind of like a medium heat. Yeah, very mild. I'm not sure I'd call them very mild, but I mean, they're not the kind of chili that I would give to Tanny. Let's just say that, okay? But I'm going to save the seeds from those to grow some of those. I also got, because I go rummaging through the reduced section in the supermarket. I'm dreadful. You know, I will. That's where I go to first. Now, these ones have been reduced twice. I don't know what the originally were. I can do chili peppers. Yes, I can do chili peppers. Now, I think originally these would have been about £1 as well. Let me just have a look. Let's see, because they were reduced twice. Oh yeah, they were 75p, and then they were reduced to 55, and then they were reduced down to 36. So, but these are Scotch bonnets. These are not ones that I would give to Tanny in any way, shape or form. It's just not going to happen. I would kill him. He would die if I gave him them. That's a very, very bad idea. So these ones I found yesterday. These are just random mixed chilies. Now, they were 45p down to 33p. And they don't ever tell you what types of chili they are. But I have a feeling they're a jalapeno and some kind of long, you know, the long Chinese red chilies. So we've got 2 different types of chili in there, yahoo! So we've got those. Yes, because I love chili, and I actually use chili as an anti-inflammatory, and it helps with my pain levels and stuff like that. I eat chili every morning. I know, big red chilies, yum yum yum. Awesome. So I also found in the shop yesterday, which I see occasionally, I don't see them very often, and because I was let loose with no supervision yesterday, I bought them. Okay, so I bought these, which they're called little baby peppers. I have no idea, but they're these tiny little sweet things, and they're lovely. They are really, really good. These are kind of like what I can feed Tammy. It tastes like a capsicum, like a bell pepper, but they're just little. They're that mild. So I'm going to give those a go and save the seeds from those as well. And because I've got a red one and a green one already, and I wanted to see the difference and what would happen, because I'm nosy and I wanted to do a really good experiment this year. When I went to go and get more capsicums, I found a packet that had an orange one and a yellow one. Now, the traffic light capsicums, those little ones are so good. I eat them right out the bag. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yes, I do too. I make a fermented cashew nut cheese, which I've got a recipe for, a video for as well. So, you know, you can always have a look at that one. And it makes the most amazing dip, and I have a load of raw veggies with that, and I'm more than happy to do that at any time whatsoever. So yeah, I do that quite happily. So I'm going to save the seeds, as many seeds as I can from those, because they're all obviously just at different stages of development. They're not from different plants or whatever. Traffic light capsicums though, like the red, yellow and green ones, are usually all from the same plant. They're just at different levels of development. You eat yours with a huge amount of ranch. Nice. Nice. I can understand that. That would work. That would work. I find ranch can be a little bit much for me though. It can be quite rich, and I find that it's a little bit much for me. But I do add like a creamy French dressing to the cashew nut cheese, and yeah. Anyway, so I have 2 more weeks to wait until my sauerkraut is ready. So I have 2 more weeks to wait until I can actually make some more cashew nut fermented cheese, because I use the sauerkraut juice to ferment the cheese, which works. Ferment the nut puree when I make it. Yes, cashew nut cheese. I know, it sounds really, really weird, but I've been going through all kinds of different sort of plant-based cheeses. I'm finding it really, really difficult. So I'm trying to create my own. And the best one that I've come across so far is this fermented cashew nut cheese. And I would happily stick my face in a bucket of that and just leave me there. Just leave me there. I'll be fine. Just leave me there. Get a blanket and chuck it over me. I'm all good. Yep. If I fell in a vat of that, just chuck in some veg. I'll be good. Yep. I'll eat my way out. It'd be great. Yep. It is just, yeah, you got to try it. Okay, so there is a video of that in my videos somewhere. Yeah, so there is a video that I did make that one. I think, pretty sure I've already put it out. Pretty sure I did. Trying to think. Yeah, I did. Because I've done a lot of filming where I haven't been able to do the editing, because as you can see, Bertha, dead. Right now, she's dead to me right now. I'm so angry, it's not funny. She's decided not to work again today, so, you know, I'm doing this on my phone. Not that I would have trusted her with doing that anyway. If there's nuts in it, I'm pretty much sold on it. Well, basically, it's all cashew nut. Okay? Basically, all it is I soaked the cashew nuts overnight. I did it more than overnight. I had them soaking for a day and a half. Because the day before that I actually started soaking them, I got sick that next day and I wasn't able to get up and do the work. But I found that actually helped the process, because then you put the water, they soaked up more of the water, and the fermentation process actually started already. So I blitzed those up in the blender and added up with the water that was left over. They all got blitzed up in the blender. I think I added a little bit of nutritional yeast, I'm not sure, can't remember, because I made 2 different cheeses at the same time. But it was a very, very basic one. The only other thing that I had to add to it was some of the juice from sauerkraut, which is part of the fermentation process to get that started. And then I put it in a bucket, just a small bucket that I used to have honey in it, just a little plastic bucket. And I left it on the shelf in our kitchen, which is above a heater. And 3 days, I mean, it literally popped the lid itself. It was happy enough to do that. So I left it for 3 days, and I have to admit I was a little scared, scared of trying it. But honestly, it is so smooth and so creamy. And there's no clagginess to it, you know, that sort of peanut butter stick to your mouth feeling that you get from a lot of shop bought plant-based cream cheeses. So I really liked it for that. And then because the flavour of it was very subtle, it lended itself to having other things added to it, which would give it some more flavour. And I just happened to have some creamy French dressing, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to add this. Yeah, you've got to give it a go. You've got to give it a go. And used it for crudités, and I had enough for a week's worth. It was just brilliant. And I remember when I was a kid that one of my favourite things to eat was just raw vegetables with something to dip them in, you know. So I did. I went back to that and decided that this was a good idea, and you know, I'm actually really enjoying this, and why am I not doing this, you know. So I decided, because I can get a kilo jar of sauerkraut over here for about £1.50, £2. It used to be £1, but it's gone up in price. But I can buy one whole cabbage for 75p. I've actually got, Tanny bought me a fermenting bucket. It's meant for beer, don't care. It's now my fermenting bucket for sauerkraut and other things. I got 5 cabbages. I've probably got, for the cost that 5 cabbages that cost around about £4 for all 5, and half a cup, oh no, it was a cup, yeah, it was a cup of salt, and that's it, and a bit of pounding, which, you know, if you need to get the stress out, it's the perfect thing to do, right? That or kneading bread. Yep, one of those two. You know, if you've got stress to get out, either make yourself some sauerkraut or get yourself some bread making going. So yeah, I did those, and it's now sitting in the cupboard. It's got 2 weeks to go. Actually takes 20 to 30 days. Tomorrow would be week 2, so it's got another week at the minimum, at which point I can bottle it. And I have 2 big £3 jars for that. £3 jars for that, so quite chuffed with those. Or are they 3 kilo jars? 3 kilo jars, £6 jars. They're big jars. Anyway, I've got 2 of those, and if I had to buy them in the shop, I would probably be looking at £5 for the lot. So for the same amount of money, but I know what's in it, you know. And it was fun. So that means now I'm going to wait. I've said to myself that I'll be good and I'll wait. Bread making, stress relief, you just save me a visit to the therapist. Yeah, honestly, smack the bread around. The more you smack it about, the better you'll have the bread, you know, especially if you're just doing a normal like cottage loaf or something like that. You know, just smack it. Keep smacking it, because it'll come out smoother and better than ever. And the more effort you put in, it's amazing how good it is, how good it feels. You're welcome. So, okay, so you've seen those shop bought things that I've got so far. The other thing I have, which you may have seen already, I have some more chestnuts that I will be growing into more trees this year, because the ones that I grew this year will be off to their new homes in spring. So yeah, I've also got some Kentish cob nuts. Now I've done a little bit of research on these, and they could be a little bit more difficult to grow than I thought, but I'm still going to give them a go, because you know what? You're not going to win it if you don't even enter, right? So, yeah. You got to be in it to win it. That's what I was looking for, that right there. So, the other thing I wanted to do this year is I wanted to grow some things that were a little bit different. Because they made me giggle. So I have some naughty things. I do. I have naughty things. Right? So, and I have some really cool things as well that I wanted to get. Because, you know, they were things that you don't see around a lot, and I wanted to grow. What have we got all together? Jeez. Oops. Right. Now I'm trying to find the seed. One particular seed that I bought. I've got to find it. I've got this horrible feeling that Tanny has hidden it because he's embarrassed. Oh, where are they? Damn it. Where are they going? I'll find them. See, I keep my seeds in these. They're the chocolate tins that you get at Christmas, you know. I do that because I keep my craft things in these. And what is really great about it is that if I need a spare one for seeds, Tanny doesn't know it's seeds, he thinks it's craft stuff, so I don't get in as much trouble. Okay, but he's probably going to watch this at some point during the week, and I love you, honey! You know, I do. Okay, so, can't find him. Damn it. I had him, where have they gone? Right, okay. Now. Oh no. I've got seeds missing. This is not okay. I've got actual seeds missing. Hang on a minute, guys. Coming! Oh. Yeah, you too. The postman! He's the postman. He's the postman. Whew. Okay, here we go. Postman. Ooh. Ooh. I have things. I have all of the things. What is going on here? Right. Let's see what Toasty brought. Wait. Oh, I think I know what this is. I think this is my sister's Christmas present. And if it is, because I can never tell if she's around because she won't say hello. Because she'll sneakily